Now, when it comes to indirect methods, the first place that you want to go is to look into what your audience is searching for. If you think about it, the first place that many people go to when they have a problem and when they want to find a solution to that problem or an answer to that problem is Google search. So, if we can find out exactly what specific things they're searching for on Google, we can gain a lot of insight. Now, there are many tools that can help you get this information when it comes to figuring out what your audience is searching for. Some of the ones that I would recommend to our Kids Finder, ASTM, Roche, Spy, Fux, Google Analytics. These are just to name a few. And for the most part, they all offer the same functionalities and same features, and they're really, really good choices. The one that we're going to use inside this course is called Sam's Coop. So, if you go to samsclub.com, you can gain access to this particular tool. Now, obviously, the first thing that you want to do is create an account for yourself. And then when you log in, you are directed into this dashboard that you see right here. Let me go ahead and scroll down a little bit so we can see what's happening here. Now, this is the keyword tool. And again, all these different various tools that I just named above are the ones that you might even search and find on your own, but what we're after is actually this keyboard. So that's what we're looking for. So here we're going to put our course topic idea inside this input form filled right now for some of you. The core idea that you have in your mind might be very, very broad, but for some of you, might be very specific, regardless of whether it's broad or specific. You can just go ahead and put that over here. So, let's say that you are a yoga instructor and you know that you want to create a yoga training, but you don't know exactly what topic inside yoga training, what type of training you want to do. So here what we can do is just put yoga. And then if you look here, if you click on this drop down, either you can just pick a very specific location. Let's say the training that you want to do is for a certain country, for a certain region. You can drill down here to actually gain access to that specific audience for that specific region, or you can just leave it as a location. I usually liberal location because obviously it's an online course and I want to have access to as many people as possible. Same goes for languages. You could either pick all languages or fish-like for a specific area, specific language. Again, you can just click this drop down and pick your language. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and click on this search icon. We're going to let Sam's Club do its thing. And then once everything's rendered, we are redirected to this dashboard over here. Now, the first thing that I want to point out here is here we put yoga as our course topic idea. So, one of the things that you want to do, if you look on this left side bar here, Soundscape has given us all these various topic ideas. And this is actually a goldmine. That's what you're looking for in the first place. You want to look to see what other topic ideas are out there. And some of that might be things that you've already thought about. But a lot of times what you find is there are actually topic ideas here that people are searching for that maybe you hadn't even thought about it. Now, when we're looking at these topic ideas, what you are specifically looking at, let's say just yoga in general, you're looking for search of volume, right? So, the higher the search volume, the better. I personally would say that look for topic ideas that have at least 10,000 and more searches. But then, depending on how specific your topic idea is and whether or not we're the pool of audiences, if it's look for a specific reason, obviously, then you're not going to get as much search volume. So, I'd say definitely don't go below 1,000 searches. But again, the higher the better. And personally, above 10,000 should be your goal. Next thing that you want to look at is this keyword difficulty. Now, each of these tools have their own and basically numbering system. But here, if we hover over the number of subscribers telling us, for example, 30 to 40 moderate competitions, once we get into the 50s, it's like very high competition. And then once we get into 60s, it says, don't even think about it. So, I personally would say that pick a topic that's between 40 to 60. That's a decent number. And when it comes to keyboard difficulty. So actually, what that means is the more difficult a keyword is, that means that there are a lot of other people that have topics right for that particular keyboard key phrase, and so it's going to make it harder for you to get noticed. Now, obviously, this tool like these tools is used for Google search. And the main use of these tools is when people want to create a set blog articles and they want to rank within Google. That's what they use this tool for. Because of that, this keyword difficulty is not too concerning because you're going to find different ways. You're not just using Google to get noticed. This, of course, ranks right. You can use different marketing methods, as we'll discuss in this course later on, to get noticed by your audience. But again, you know why you're what you're doing this. If you can find the good combination of a really healthy search volume and a decent keyword difficulty, why not go after those keywords? Right. So, again, what we're doing here is looking for a topic, ideas as well. So, for example, you might be looking at, wow, Kundalini Yoga, it was something that you never had thought about. And then what you do is look at the search volume. You kind of look at the keyword difficulty. Obviously takes time for Sanskrit to render the data to show us its difficulty. And here it is, 32. So, as you can see, this is actually really good topic, right? Good search volume, really decent keyword difficulty. And so, the idea here is for you to spend hours, if not days, doing this research. Like the longer the better. And you want to drill down. Once you find a good topic idea, you want to actually drill down within that topic idea and see what other options are out there. Right. For example, let's say you saw power yoga and you're like, what this is actually really does is something that I never even thought about. So, then you look at the search volume. That's the sounds. You look at the keyword difficulty. That's the sun. So, the next thing that you want to do, you want to drill down into that particular topic idea. So now instead of yoga, we put power yoga. And then again, we run that through some scope to see what other related topic ideas come up. That's really to that power yoga. And then drill down more and keep on drilling down. Now, one thing to point out here, because I'm advising you guys to do hours, if not days of research here, because you definitely want to take your time. And I'll talk to you more. Once we get past this, I'll talk to you more about the benefits and the power of doing this research. And you'll see, that's why I'm hammering this idea of you definitely want to take your time to do this research. One thing to do is, as you're doing your research, let's say, you've spent a couple of hours. When you see topics that have the right search volume and the keyword difficulty, there's a checkbox right here. So, we click here, this little button. Now, as you can see, we get checkboxes and next to these. So, if you do come across topic ideas that you like, what you can do is just click a checkbox right next to that. And then when you're done for that day, what you'll do is if you click this arrow and then you can explore this data, you can export it into a CSV file or a clipboard if you don't have CSFI. And this is actually really good. That way you can save it. Let me open it up so I can show you what that looks like. Obviously, the main benefit is now you can come back to this the next day and the next day and continue your research. So not only this is going to be amazing for your coming up with your core idea, it's going to be so valuable later on when you want to see your content marketing, social media, marketing, email marketing. You're not just writing content, creating content in dark. Rather, you're creating the type of content that your audience is looking for, searching for. Alright, so that's the first part of this research. Again, I'm asking you to spend hours and days doing this research. And then let's say that after you're done with all this research, you've come up with, 20 topic ideas, and then you've looked at all of them and now you've come up with maybe 3 or 4 different ideas and you want to know, and they're all good search volume, good competition, keyword difficulty. So, what you want to do after that is to head on to another tool called Google Trends. So, if you do chance of google.com, you're going to gain access to that other tool. And basically, we're going to use this tool to see what the trends is. Right. It's not just enough for you to know where what are people searching for right now, currently or in the last month. It's really good to get an idea where the trend is going for. Particular topic, idea. Right. So let's say, you thought that power yoga is a good option for you, so we can put that in here in the search field here in Google Trends. And as you can see, we're getting this graph of what the trend looks like. Do you see this? The trend is somewhat going down right now. Just like the Google search. You have the option of drilling down based on a specific location, or if you clicked on this arrow, you can actually pick different countries, or you can do worldwide just to see where the trend is going everywhere. Same goes for the timeline. You can just click this area right here and pick a timeline line that surpassed 30 days or past 90 days. I personally like to see where the trend is going for the past a year. That's going to be a good amount of data to take a look at. And the same goes for your categories. If you want to just narrow it down, let's say, of beauty and fitness or to entertainment or hours or what have your business, you could do that as well. So, you get a more narrowed down view of where the trend is going. So obviously now we're looking at where the power yoga trend is going, and you can compare that to another trend. So, let's say we wanted to see what got for kids, where the trend is going for that. Maybe that was another thing that you saw. Maybe that's a good option. And as you can see here, the trends actually went up in March area. That makes total sense because as a recording, which for in August right now that I'm recording this course, March of this year is when it happens. And so, people are home with their kids. Obviously, there is going to be a spike. But then the trend somewhat, if we compare it to where it was prior to all of that, it seems pretty steady, if not a little bit higher. So, but overall, a power yoga has a higher trend. So, let's say that Kundalini Yoga was another option that you were looking at. Right. So, can that compare that to the other two? And here we go. This is Kundalini Yoga. It seems like pretty much steady. But again, Power Yoga here is the winner. And you could just keep on adding. Let's say, even if you had 10 different topic ideas that you were looking for, you can just keep on adding that and looking at everything side by side to see where the trend is going for that particular keyword idea.